Some of the things that I've seen will give you chills from your toes up.
Right there, right there.
People witnessed this. I wasn't imagining this.
You don't know what you're dealing with, whom you're dealing with.
That customer was scared. He never came back.
My ghost story began at the Farside Lounge in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We have a customer named Roy, and he came in one day with a box full of extravagant costumes and flowers and stuff from a tenant of his that passed away. He told us her name was Michelle. And come to find out, Michelle was a Michael and actually had passed away from the transgender surgery.
Hang them up through here. Okay.
I own the Farside Lounge. We like to hold theme parties. We were preparing for our yearly luau. So we went ahead and took Michelle's items, and that very day, Tammy took all the flowers and strung them together into vines so that we can hang them from the ceilings. We went on with our party, took lots of pictures, and in some of the pictures, you saw the bright white little circles.
And those are the pictures we caught all the orbs in. We were pretty convinced it was Michelle. I really do feel that since we did use her things, that she was showing us that she was happy we did. Once the box got there, little things kept happening around the bar. Things that you would just brush off and try to explain out, but you couldn't. The bartenders started seeing shadows across the back room of the bar. We hear whistling. We hear the tinking of the bottles. We've actually had names called out. At first, you don't know what to think. You blow it off, you work in a bar. There's drunk people. And you don't want to seem stupid for thinking that something a little strange was going on.
When Christmas finally came around, the same gentleman that let us have all of Michelle's items was closing with me. I let him hang out inside the bar as I did my closing duties. He's talking to somebody that's not there. Just get off my back. Okay, well, you know, he's been drinking, so I'm thinking, okay, who's on your back, Roy? And he looks at me and he says, Lori, you know, I don't believe in crap, right? I said, well, yeah. He says, you got ghost. And he looked at me and he said, I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. Well, I instantly got goosebumps. And I thought, were we really talking to Michelle? The next morning, I called Tammy and I explained to her the whole story, and she said, you know, you have surveillance. Let's just go look at it. So for the first time, we decided to take a deeper look at this. So we pull out the video and we're watching, and you can see as I touch the one chair, before I move it or anything, the one next to it spins inward. And we both went, and we looked at each other and we said, let's play that again. I don't hit the chair, nothing disturbs the chair to make it turn inward. It was almost as if someone was getting out of my way. So now at this point, Michelle is, to us, a reality.
It's almost like your body is in total disbelief. You get that, take your breath away, chills up your arms, tears in my eyes. I had tears in my eyes.
And every time you watch it to this day, you get that same feeling of, wow, that happened. And now we have it on film.
When you see that justification, you get scared. You get a little emotional, and then you don't want other people to think that you're crazy.
And we share it with the staff among us and our friends and say, maybe we're not just hearing things. Maybe we're not just seeing that shadow. Maybe there is an explanation.
Once we saw the chair spinning, we decided to open our eyes more and document this more. Every little noise we heard, every claimed shadow, customers would come to us and tell us that they had seen things. We would go back on the DVR system to see if we can catch it, and we did.
Right there, right there.
In one instance, my sister Carol's working, and on top of the bar, there is a pool stick inside a case. Next to it is a friend of mine, and she has her purse sitting on the counter, and I'm sitting to the left of her. And all of a sudden, Carol takes a double take, and she says, that case just moved. And I said, okay, I'm gonna go check right now. So I go back in my office, and I find the moment, and my jaw just fell. And I went, no way, that No way. That case made an abrupt adjustment, and you cannot explain that.
First off, you get chills from your toes all the way up your spine. You look at each other and can't believe that that just happened. Then you try to debunk it and try to make it happen again.
You know, I have some common sense, and I do try to figure things out. I don't want to look silly. We tried to kick the bar. We literally got on top of the bar and jumped on it. We rushed at it and hit it. We could barely get a vibration.
When you can't make it happen again, then you get frightened because you don't know what you're dealing with, whom you're dealing with, how this happens.
Throughout the next year, more things happen, a lot of things.
Some of the things that I've seen will give you chills from your toes up. I was doing inventory, and I said a pad of paper and a pen on the bar, and that pen has a clip on it that you put on your pocket, and it just decided to roll on its own.
You can see the pen that had been sitting there for several minutes just roll to the side and then off the edge of the bar.
So for me to debunk it, I sat it there and I worked around it for 10 hours. It never moved again. We have a fruit tray that sits on the bar every single day. It has a clear lid, and out of the blue, that lid just opened up by itself. Now you can debunk it if it was gravity working and it would go down, but no, this lifted up.
It's a little hard to see because of the light coming in from the door, but sure enough, that lid opened. For no reason, nobody else there.
The next day, we have an ice scoop that has to sit on the lip of the bar.
Right underneath the fruit tray that opened the day before, the ice scoop just rolls off into the ice bin.
It's beyond belief. You just sit there amazed, and it just doesn't stop.
That very evening, we had a little cubby, sort of, and inside it was another fruit tray. Been sitting there for a year or two, dusty, on a flat surface. Another customer comes in, and he yells at my sister, Carol, "There's something not right here." And when she looked over, the fruit tray was on the floor. I go back and I watch the video,
Carol said it was over here somewhere.
and sure enough, the fruit tray seems to slide out from the flat surface it was sitting on and fall to the floor. That customer was scared. He never came back.
I went from being one of those people that always said, I'm not gonna believe it until it's right in front of my face. Well, it's been right in front of my face, and I'm a total believer now.
We're taught that it doesn't happen. It's a state of mind, it's imagining. This made it real. Actual proof. People witnessed this. I wasn't imagining this. It's like hitting something deep inside and confirming a belief. Oh my God, anything is possible. Everybody questions, is there a ghost? Now I say yes, there's a ghost.
I really do believe that the spirit of Michelle actually opened up a space for the ghosts to walk through. I don't know why the ghosts are there. It hasn't subsided in the past 5 years. I don't foresee it ending anytime soon. They were there before, and I really do think they're going to be there after us.